the most beautiful problems of all time. That's the name of this series, and here is a truly wonderful problem by Pro Cash from the year 1924. White to move, and white is up a rook here, so really has a good material advantage, but the black pawns are already dangerously close to promotion. The Ger pawn is certainly a bit closer than the Her pawn. Still, it won't be easy to stop the pawns and, yes, ultimately to find the win for white. If you want to give it a go, feel free to pause the video now. You had the chance to pause the video, so now let's take a look at how we can solve this problem. I always say captures and checks. Those are the concrete moves you should calculate first. And that's exactly what we'll do here. Rook takes h4, check. So, definitely a very concrete move we need to consider. The only annoying thing is that black can reply here with b4, giving a counter check. Now we have to respond to that. King, well, where should he go? To c4, for example. Black gets the queen here, and we don't need much imagination to see that we're not going to win this with white anymore. Back to the starting position. Yes, another chess move, b3. That's definitely one we should consider. King for 3, and, well, we don't have much left, do we? You might think, here, rook b5, and we're threatening quite a lot. Yes, that's right. If black gets the idea here to just blindly grab a queen, he'll be pulling a silly face when he gets checkmated here. But at this point, we have to trust that black can spot a one-move mate and defend against it. And yes, how can you defend against mate here? A relatively elegant solution, in my opinion, is simply to play the move a4. We remove the mate threat, rook takes a 5 from the position, and yes, we really don't have that many options left. We can play rook to a5. Here, we're actually threatening to capture on a 4, but now the king can escape to a2, and after rook takes, king to b1, we don't really have much left here, do we? We could also say rook to g4, we hold up that one pawn, but h3 comes, the pawns are connected, and yes, it doesn't look good for white. We're not going to win here, and at the very least, we can't prevent the promotion to a queen either. So now we have to go back to the starting position again and, yes, ultimately resign ourselves to the bitter truth. It's not really a concrete move, not a check, not a capture, but rather something else. And something else means rook to g5, and that does look very logical as well. We attack the most dangerous pawn and, yes, simply try to prevent it from queening. Black doesn't really have many options here. He has to cling to this g2 pawn here, and he does that with the move h3. And yes, how does it continue now? Rook to g4. We give check, and as you already know before, the counter check is a bit annoying. We have to put up with that for man. King to c4. That looks logical, I think. And now it happens. h2. So, what we've been fearing all along, if the black pawns start rolling here, then the white rook won't be able to stop them on its own. And yes, that's exactly what's happening now. We could take the pawn on g2, but then the h-pawn will simply go through. There's a better move in this position, and yes, if you want to find it, feel free to pause the video again. You had the chance to pause the video, and the only correct move here is the brilliant move rook to g3. Now, you might be asking yourself, yes, rook to g3, but what does that actually do here? I don't see any concrete threat that white is really posing. Black will probably just promote their pawn here, and whatever happens, queen against rook. That should be one for black, and white doesn't have any way to win back the material. But he doesn't have to either. Instead, white says to himself, alright, this rook has done enough work. We'll just throw it overboard as well now. Rook to a3, check. And black doesn't really have many options here, you see. The rook, the king can't escape here, and the only way to block the check is pawn takes on a3. And now comes the punchline. We've still got a pawn left, and it's done so little in this game, but now it's his moment to shine. Now he can deliver checkmate here with b3. And yes, black has so much more material here. Could even promote to a queen, and who knows what else he could do. But could. That's just not going to work here. Black is actually already checkmated here. That was today's puzzle. I hope you enjoyed it, so leave a like if you did. And you can see here on the side, that's a chessboard from schachtruhe.de. You still get €10 off with the code NEO10. Feel free to check it out. And on the other side, you'll now see a linked video from me. Feel free to click on it if you're interested in more studies, and then I'll see you again in the next video.